Hello, girls. I am getting ready for this weekend, and I'm just more and more excited. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of you. And the ones who I don't get to see yet, I'm still hoping that we get to hear from you, or at least maybe do a little FaceTime. Um, I've been thinking about this time, and of course, over the last couple of years, as you all know, I've been kind of meditating on this whole thing of Mama Holy Spirit and how we mirror the Trinity and our identity, and just like how we are going to play our part in seeing the goodness of God here in the land of the living and living life abundantly. And so I've had this like big picture, but then, this weekend creeps up on us quickly, and the like more like what is this weekend about wasn't real clear, but I feel like it's getting clearer, and I'm very excited. So I just have a little bit of homework for you and some thoughts, and we will go from there. So I have been on this journey, like I just mentioned, and part of that thought of how I kind of recognize my identity and live out my identity to be able to share it with those younger than ourselves, share it with the next generation, and how to do that. And recently I really tried to put like the gospel in a nutshell in I tried to do it in 5 minutes. It was at first 15 and got it down to 5. No, I didn't get it to 5. I got it down to 8 minutes, which I thought was pretty good. But then recently I was sharing with someone just my story about how I was anxious a lot as a child. They said, well, that sounds like you had a lot of social anxiety. And I kind of laughed and said, yeah, but I didn't know it was called that. But I recognized as I told my story that there is so much power, more than I realized. Like, people would always give their testimony, and pretty much it would be like, well, things were going wrong, and then I decided to give my heart to Jesus at this moment, at this time, on this day. And that was their testimony. But I realized, wow, our story has so much more power than I kind of gave it, that I realized. Those people around us, and those in the next generation, they might argue with beliefs and theology, but they can't argue with our story because it's ours. And when I was sharing this, the person asked questions and was like, well, then what did you do about that? Or how did you, there was a real just enjoyment and interest in my story. And that's when I started feeling like we do each have a piece of the puzzle, which is why I felt like it's important to gather. And I just have been really thinking about the power of each of our story. And so what I'm hoping we can do is each of us in 20 minutes, there's not too many of us, so different times, you know how we did last time. We kind of set little times and have certain people that be their time, but share their God story, kind of the highlights and what they learned through that and how God met them. And the other thing that I'd like you to think ahead of time about is your 3 words. I'm going to put a little list of some suggestions. Love is going to be in the center. We're going to do a little almost like craft and have it, but love is going to be in the center. So that word, you can just know that's all of our word. But then, there will be things like faith, hope, peace, joy, those kind of words. 3 words that are kind of like your words that go with your story. And then we're going to pick one for each of us, and it's going to be fun. So your story, 3 words. And then the other thing that I've been really on, and it kind of goes with all of this. Well, first let me say this. I really feel like maybe at the end of our time, maybe it'll even be Sunday evening, there might be less of us here, but that I really want to dream towards doing a gathering like this where we include those like younger than ourselves and kind of like give them an experience. But we can't give what we don't have. And the one thing I realize is the gospel is to be tasted. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. So those of you coming this weekend, or even if you're taking time on your own at your house or whatever, this is for you. For you to just taste and see, to partake of all of God's goodness, and to just have it go more, like realize more your identity and God's goodness to you, because I think we really do have something to share. But we can only share what we have, what we know. And so it's about experiencing it, not about knowing it in our heads, but about knowing it. So I want you to just come with that thing, like just that this just be a wonderful, restful, amazing, like, wow. You just go away from here like really just full of life. And then the other little thing I'd like to do together, and so I'm sending you a message that may be on the way here or something you can listen, because I know none of us have tons of time, and even if you get the first 30 minutes of it or something, it's just this thing of like praying together where we just really just see things as done and use our imagination, a very quick and easy and different than a lot of us have grown up with way of praying. And I always try to explain this and have really wanted to kind of like do it together with some people and just like almost practice it, like learn it better. And every time I try to explain it, I just fall really short. Like some things I can say well, and this so far I have really failed at. So that's why I thought, well, the person that I've been listening to and has really just helped me so much, and I've seen like huge changes in my life, it might be better to hear it there than me trying to explain it and failing. So that's why I'm just going to attach that that video as well, and then we can have more conversation. Like I probably will be just a little like 1 hour time where we just kind of take like you can each have like kind of like a prayer request. Come with that. Like what is one request I have? Obviously we have lots, but if there's one that's really dear to your heart, that would be the other thing to bring. And if you get a chance to listen to this, think on your story and your 3 words. And then lastly, I might attach also like just a little guidepost story I read. Probably take you about 5 minutes to read if you get a chance. Because it also just was a powerful story. Like I was like, that's just impossible without God. And again, it's the person's story. Like you can't deny it. So that would be just another fun little thing if you get time to read it just before bed or something. I think you'll enjoy it. So we are going to have an amazing weekend. And I look forward to lots of amazing food, a beach, and of course for me, Danny says my drug, just talking and just relationships. So love you guys. See you soon.